She texted, "I'm moving in with my boss. We've been seeing each other for a while she was still living in my apartment, the one I paid for." I replied, "I understand." That evening, I had the building security escort her out and deactivate her access card. When her boss tried to enter the building to pick up her things, I'm 32, work in finance at a private equity firm in Chicago, and until 3 months ago, I thought I had my life figured out. I'd been with Sarah for 4 years. We met at a charity fundraiser, one of those networking events where everyone pretends to care about the cause, but really just wants to make connections. She was funny, smart, ambitious. We clicked immediately. We weren't married, but we talked about it constantly. She'd send me Pinterest boards of wedding venues. I'd joke about how expensive her taste was. It felt real. She moved into my condo 2 years ago, a place I own outright in downtown Chicago, 23rd floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the lake. I'd bought it as an investment 5 years earlier when the market dipped. I covered the mortgage, utilities, HOA fees, parking, everything. She contributed maybe $300 a month for groceries, which honestly I never cared about. I made good money, low 6 figures with bonuses that doubled that most years. She worked in marketing at a mid-sized tech firm, made around $75,000 herself, but I wanted her to feel comfortable, to save up, maybe start her own consulting business someday. She talked about it all the time. "Once I have enough saved," she'd say. "Once I build my portfolio." Looking back now, I realized she wasn't saving anything. The text came on a Tuesday afternoon in late June. I was in a conference room on the 40th floor, sitting through a 3-hour meeting about a potential acquisition. My phone was face down on the table, but I felt it buzz, then buzz again. I ignored it. We were in the middle of discussing valuation models, and my boss was asking pointed questions about our due diligence process. When we finally took a break, I checked my phone. 2 texts from Sarah. First text: "Hey, can we talk tonight? Something important." Second text: "Actually, I'll just tell you now. I'm moving in with David. We've been seeing each other for a while now. I know this is sudden, but I think it's the right move for me. I'll get my stuff this weekend." I read it 3 times. People were walking past me, heading to the coffee station, talking about lunch orders, and I was just standing there in the hallway, staring at my phone. David. Her boss. The guy she'd mentioned maybe a dozen times over the past year, but more frequently in recent months. David thinks we should pivot the campaign. David wants me to lead the new project. David invited the team for drinks Friday. David's really pushing for me to take on more responsibility. I'd never met him. She said he was older, experienced, a good mentor. She'd shown me a team photo once. He was in the back row, gray hair, expensive-looking suit. I hadn't thought anything of it. 4 years. 2 years in my home. And she couldn't even tell me to my face. She couldn't wait until dinner. She sent a text message like she was canceling a gym membership. I walked back into the conference room. My colleague asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. We finished the meeting. I presented my analysis. I answered questions. I functioned. Then I excused myself, went back to my office, closed the door, and made 3 phone calls. First call: my lawyer, Tom Chen. No relation, just a lucky coincidence that made him easy to remember. Tom and I had worked together on a real estate deal a few years back. He was sharp, efficient, no nonsense. "Tom, I need you to pull the cohabitation agreement I signed with Sarah Mitchell 2 years ago." "The girlfriend? What happened?" "She's cheating on me with her boss. Just texted me about it. I need to know my options." There was a pause. "Jake, I'm sorry. Give me 20 minutes. I'll review the document and call you back." Second call: building management. My condo building has 24-hour concierge service, security, the whole deal. I pay $800 a month in HOA fees specifically for this kind of service. "Hi, this is Jake Chen in Unit 2304. I need to speak with someone about security protocols for my unit." They transferred me to Marcus, the head of security. I'd talked to him a few times. Nice guy, former Marine, took his job seriously. Marcus, I have a situation. My girlfriend is moving out today. She doesn't know it yet, but she's moving out today. I need her keycard deactivated, and I need someone present when she comes to collect her things. Domestic situation? Cheating situation. No violence, no threats. I just want this handled cleanly and professionally. Understood. What time? She usually gets home around 6:30. I'll be there. Can you have someone available? I'll handle it myself. See you at 6. Third call. My brother, Kevin. He's 2 years younger, works as a high school teacher, completely different world from mine, but we've always been close. He lives in Evanston, about 40 minutes away. Kev, Sarah cheated on me. She's moving out tonight. Can you come over? I need someone here. What? Are you serious? Jake, I'm so sorry. Yeah, of course. I'll leave school as soon as I can. I'll be there by 6. Tom called me back 15 minutes later. You're good. The cohabitation agreement is airtight. She has no claim to the property, no tenant rights because you never charged her rent, and you can terminate the arrangement with written or verbal notice. Document everything. Text her back, confirm what she told you, and tell her she needs to collect her belongings today. Today? Not this weekend? Today. You control the timeline, not her. She made her choice. You're just executing it. I felt calmer after that. Having a plan helped. I texted Sarah back. I understand. Come home tonight. We'll discuss logistics. She responded immediately. Thank you for being understanding. I know this is hard. We can talk this weekend. I didn't reply. The rest of the afternoon was a blur. I wrapped up work, sent a few emails, delegated tomorrow's meetings to my associate. I left the office at 5 p.m., stopped at my place to change clothes, then sat on my couch waiting. Kevin arrived at 6 with pizza and beer. He took one look at me and said, "You're too calm. This is your angry calm." I know this face. I've had 3 weeks to prepare for this, I said. 3 weeks? You knew? Suspected. Found the credit card statements, hotel charges when she said she was working late, expensive dinners for 2 at restaurants we've never been to together, a charge at Tiffany's for $8,000 that I never saw result in any jewelry for her. Why didn't you say anything? Because I needed to be sure. And I needed to have a plan. Marcus arrived at 6:15, professional in his security uniform. I explained the situation. He nodded, said he'd handled this before, knew the drill. Sarah got home at 6:42. I'd been tracking her location on the Find My Friends app we'd set up years ago for safety reasons. I watched her little icon move through downtown into our parking garage, up the elevator. She walked in and froze. Kevin was in the kitchen. Marcus was standing near the door. I was on the couch. Jake? What's going on? Why is security here? I stood up. You said you're moving out. I'm helping you do that. Tonight. Her face went white. Her bag slipped off her shoulder and hit the floor. What? No. I meant this weekend. I haven't even talked to David about... You've been cheating on me with your boss for months, I said, keeping my voice level. You texted me about it this afternoon like you were changing hair salons. You don't get to control the timeline anymore. This weekend doesn't work for me. You can't just kick me out. I live here. This is my home. I pulled out my phone, opened the PDF Tom had sent me. You live here as my guest. This cohabitation agreement, the one you signed 2 years ago, states that I can terminate that arrangement with written notice. I'm providing verbal notice right now, and I'll email you the written version within the hour. You have 2 hours to pack your essentials. Anything you don't take tonight, I'll have professionally packed and shipped to your mom's address in Wisconsin. She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Then the tears started. Jake, please. Can we just talk about this? I made a mistake. I got confused. David and I, it's not what you think. What do I think? I don't know, but we can work through this. No, I said simply. We can't. She tried a different approach. Anger. You're such a controlling asshole. This is exactly why I needed someone else. You always have to have everything your way, everything planned out, everything perfect. Kevin stepped forward. Sarah, stop. You cheated. You don't get to make him the bad guy here. She whirled on him. Stay out of this, Kevin. This doesn't concern you. He's my brother. It concerns me. Marcus cleared his throat. Ms. Mitchell, I suggest you start packing. You have 2 hours. She looked at all of us, me, Kevin, Marcus, and seemed to realize this was actually happening. She pulled out her phone and made a call. I heard her side of the conversation. David? It's me. I need you to come get me. No, tonight. He's kicking me out. I don't know, Can you please just come? I need you right now. She hung up and looked at me with something like triumph. David's coming. He'll help me. Great, I said. Tell him to wait in the lobby. She started packing. Kevin helped carry boxes from the storage closet. I sat on the couch and watched. Every item she put in a suitcase was something I'd bought or we'd bought together. The sheets, the towels, the kitchen stuff. I realized I'd have to replace most of my apartment's contents. She kept trying to talk to me, apologizing, then getting angry, then apologizing again. How long have you known? Were you spying on me? Did you hire a private investigator? Credit card statements, I said. You used the card I gave you for emergencies. Hotels aren't emergencies. Her face flushed red. I forgot that was connected to your account. Clearly. David showed up 53 minutes later. I watched on the building's security app as he walked into the lobby, all confidence and expensive suit at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. He approached Marcus at the security desk. I'm here for Sarah Mitchell, Unit 2304. Marcus checked his tablet. I don't have you listed as an approved visitor for that unit. I'm her boyfriend. She needs help with her things. Then you can wait in the lobby. The resident will send Ms. Mitchell down when she's ready. I watched David's face change on the camera feed. He wasn't used to being told no. Do you know who I am? No, sir. But I know you're not on the approved visitor list for Unit 2304. David started to argue. Marcus remained stone-faced. Eventually, David sat down in the lobby, pulling out his phone, typing furiously. Upstairs, Sarah's phone kept buzzing. She checked it, typed back, looked at me. David says you're being unreasonable. He says he's calling his lawyer. He can call whoever he wants. He's not coming up here. She finished packing around 9:30, 3 large suitcases, 2 boxes, a bag of shoes. Kevin helped carry everything to the elevator. Marcus accompanied them down. I stayed in the apartment. From my window, I watched them load up David's Tesla in the parking circle out front. He had his arm around Sarah. She was crying. He was talking on his phone, probably to that lawyer. They drove away. Kevin came back up. That guy's a piece of work. Yeah. You okay? I will be. We drank the beer, ate the pizza, watched a basketball game. Kevin crashed on the couch. Around midnight, I went to bed in a room that suddenly felt enormous and empty. Update 1. The text started the next morning at 6:47 a.m. Sarah, I'm so sorry for how everything happened yesterday. That wasn't fair to you. You deserved better. Can we please talk? Just talk? I didn't respond. I was in the shower getting ready for work, trying to pretend my life hadn't just imploded. By the time I got to the office at 8:30, there were 4 more texts. Sarah. Jake, please. I made a terrible mistake. I see that now. Sarah. David isn't who I thought he was. Sarah. Can I at least come get my grandmother's necklace? You know how much that means to me. Sarah. Please don't ignore me. I forwarded all the messages to Tom. He replied, "Don't engage. If she needs belongings, she can arrange it through me." But the necklace thing got to me. It was a real thing. Her grandmother's necklace, gold with a small emerald, maybe worth $2,000 but priceless in sentimental value. I checked the bedroom. It was still in her jewelry box in the closet. I had it professionally packaged and shipped to her mom's address in Wisconsin, signature required. Cost me $85 for rush shipping and insurance. I texted her the tracking number, nothing else. She called immediately. I didn't answer. She texted, "Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Thursday, the texts turned angry. "Sarah, you humiliated me in front of your brother and the building staff. My friends think you're crazy." Sarah, "David's lawyer says what you did might be illegal. You can't just throw someone out with no notice." I forwarded her the cohabitation agreement and the relevant Illinois tenant law statute. Didn't add any commentary, just the documents. Friday afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. Normally, I don't answer those, but something made me pick up. "Is this Jake Chen?" "Yes? This is Patricia Hartley, David Hartley's wife. I think we need to talk." My brain stuttered. "His wife?" "Yes, my husband's wife. I believe he's currently involved with your ex-girlfriend. Are you free for coffee tomorrow?" We met Saturday morning at a cafe in Lincoln Park, neutral territory. Patricia was elegant, probably mid-40s, wearing a cream-colored blazer and pearls. She looked like someone who ran charity galas and served on museum boards. She probably did. "Thank you for meeting me," she said, stirring her coffee. "I imagine this week has been difficult for you." "You could say that." She pulled out an iPad, opened a folder, turned it toward me. Credit card statements, hotel receipts, screenshots of text messages. "David has done this before. 3 times that I know of, possibly more. Always younger women who work for him. It usually lasts 6 to 8 months. He tells them we're separated, that the divorce is complicated because of our business interests, that he loves them but needs time to handle things properly." I felt sick. "Sarah doesn't know you exist?" "Oh, I'm sure she knows I exist. I'm sure he's told her we're separated. Technically, we are now. I filed for divorce Tuesday morning. But we weren't separated when their relationship started. We weren't even having problems. Or at least, I didn't think we were." "How did you find out?" "A credit card charge at a hotel in the city when he was supposed to be at a conference in Boston. I called the hotel. He'd checked in with a guest. I hired a private investigator, got photos, got proof." She closed the iPad. "My lawyer will be subpoenaing your ex-girlfriend as a witness, not as a defendant. David is the defendant. But her testimony about their relationship, about what he told her, will be very valuable in court." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I wanted you to know that you handled this correctly. You cut her off cleanly, decisively. What she's about to experience with David, it won't be what she's expecting. He's losing the house, majority stake in his business, probably his Tesla. And when men like David lose their money and their status, they show their true colors." Update 2. Patricia was right. 2 weeks after the coffee meeting, Sarah called me at 11 p.m. on a Thursday. I'd blocked her number, but she called from a different phone. I didn't recognize the number, so I answered. "Jake?" Her voice was wrecked. She'd been crying hard. "Sarah, he lied to me. About everything. He's married. He has 2 kids. He's been married for 19 years. His wife is divorcing him and naming me in the filing. I have to give a deposition. I could lose my job. Jake, I'm so sorry. I made the biggest mistake of my life." I sat on my couch in the dark apartment, listening to her sob. His wife's lawyer called me today. They want to interview me about the affair. My HR department called me in for a meeting. They said the company is facing potential legal action from Patricia's lawyer about workplace misconduct. I had to resign. They called it voluntary resignation, but it wasn't. They pushed me out. "Where are you living?" "With my mom." I had to leave the city. I can't afford an apartment here without a job. Everyone knows now. Everyone. All my friends, my colleagues, people in the industry. My LinkedIn is full of messages asking if the rumors are true. I'm sorry, I said, and I meant it. Not sorry enough to want her back, but sorry that she'd destroyed her life for a lie. David won't talk to me anymore. He said I should have known better than to get involved with a married man. He said I'm an adult and I made my own choices. Jake, he told me they were separated. He showed me a lease for an apartment downtown. He said he'd moved out 6 months before we got together. That was a lie? All of it. Patricia showed me proof, photos of them together at events this year, joint bank accounts that are still active. He never moved out. He just had an apartment he used for affairs, I finished. Yeah. Her voice broke again. I gave up everything for him. I left you. I left our home. I quit my job. And it was all based on lies. Sarah, I have to go. Wait. Please. Can we try again? I know I don't deserve it, but I love you. I realize that now. I made a terrible mistake and I want to fix it. Please, Jake, please give me another chance. The old me, the me from 2 months ago, might have considered it. Might have let the guilt and the history and the 4 years together sway me. But I'd spent 2 months rebuilding, going to therapy, processing, understanding that what Sarah did wasn't just a mistake. It was a choice, a series of choices. Every hotel room, every lie about working late, every moment she chose him over me. No, I said quietly. We can't. She was still crying when I hung up. I blocked that number too. Final update. It's been 3 months since that Tuesday text. It's September now. The weather is getting cooler. I'm starting to enjoy fall again, instead of just associating it with the worst summer of my life. Sarah is still living with her mom in Wisconsin. I know this because Tom told me. She's still technically involved in Patricia's divorce proceedings, and there's been some correspondence. She hasn't found a new job yet. The marketing world in Chicago isn't that big, and word spreads. Not because I said anything, I haven't, but because people talk. Office affairs involving the boss tend to become public knowledge. David's divorce was finalized last month. He lost the house in Lake Forest, his majority stake in the marketing firm, and according to Patricia's last email, he's living in a 1-bedroom apartment in a building far less nice than mine. The Tesla is gone. Patricia got it in the settlement. I ran into one of Sarah's former co-workers at a bar 2 weeks ago. He recognized me from photos, introduced himself, and bought me a drink. Man, everyone at the office knew about Sarah and David. We thought you knew too. Some of us wanted to say something, but nobody knew how. Like, how do you tell someone their girlfriend is having an affair with her boss? Would it have changed anything? I asked. Probably not. But still, I felt bad. That conversation stuck with me, knowing that people watched it happen, that there were witnesses to my humiliation who said nothing. But I also understood. It's an impossible position. What if you're wrong? What if you ruin a relationship over a misunderstanding? I'm doing okay now. Better than okay some days. I've been on dates. Nothing serious yet, but I'm not rushing. Therapy has helped. My therapist keeps saying I need to sit with the feelings instead of just problem-solving everything. I'm trying. It's not my strong suit. The condo feels different now. I got rid of the couch we bought together, replaced it with a sectional I actually like, repainted the bedroom, changed the locks even though Sarah's key card was already deactivated, just felt necessary. Kevin still comes over every Tuesday with pizza and beer. It started as him checking on me, making sure I wasn't spiraling. Now it's just what we do. We watch basketball, talk about his students, complain about our parents asking when we're going to settle down. It's nice. I'd lost touch with him a bit when I was with Sarah. I didn't realize how much until he wasn't around. Last week, a woman at the coffee shop near my office asked if the seat across from me was taken. We ended up talking for an hour. She gave me her number. I might actually call her. As for that text, I'm moving in with my boss. I should probably thank Sarah for being so direct about it. She could have dragged it out for months, making me the fool who didn't know. Instead, she gave me a clean break. Not intentionally, but still. The outcome was the same. Some people have called me cold for how I handled it. My mom said I should have talked to Sarah first, given her a chance to explain. But I'd already mourned the relationship by the time she sent that text. I'd had 3 weeks of suspicion, of checking credit cards, of watching her lie to my face about where she'd been. The rest was just logistics. I don't wish Sarah ill. I hope she figures her life out, finds a new job, learns from this. But that chapter is closed for me. Permanently. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Edit 1. A few people asked about the $8,000 Tiffany's charge. It was a men's watch. Submariner, I think. I'm assuming David still has it, though given his divorce settlement, he might have had to sell it. Edit 2. Yes, I kept the cohabitation agreement. Best $500 I ever spent on a lawyer. If you're living with a partner in a property you own, get one. It protects both parties and makes situations like this much cleaner legally. Edit 3. No, I don't regret how I handled it. Some people think I should have given her more time or been more sympathetic, but she made her choice. I just responded to it. I don't think that makes me cold. I think it makes me someone who knows his worth,